everything, so of course I felt bad for her. I figured, all right, maybe this is the push she needs to get her life together. So I went all in to help her. I found her a little apartment, not fancy, but decent enough, and covered the first month as rent. And the deposit on top off had. I helped her furnish the place, nothing extravagant, just some basic stuff, so she wouldn't be sitting in an empty room. I made it really clear, though, that this wasn't a long-term thing. I told her, Mallory, I'll help you for a few months, but after that you're on your own, you've got to step up. At first, she seemed super grateful. She kept saying things like, you're the best brother ever, and I can't believe you're doing this for me. I'm not going to lie, it felt good to help her, like maybe I was doing something that would actually make a difference in her life. But that feeling didn't last long. For the first couple of months, I kept checking in on her to see how things were going. Every time I asked about her job search, theft, have some excuse, oh, the market is really bad right now. Or, I've been feeling so stressed, I just need a bit more time. Meanwhile, she wasn't even trying. She'd just hang out at home or go out with friends, acting like she had all the time in the world. I kept paying her rent because she always had a reason why she couldn't do it yet at first. I figured, okay, maybe she just needs a little more time to get on her feet, but by the third month, I was starting to feel like I was being taken advantage of, and in the fourth month, I got hit with a pretty big expense. My car broke down, and the repair bill was no joke. It wiped out a good chunk of my savings, and it told Mallory straight up, I can't cover your rent this month. You're going to Mojave to figure it out. You'd think it told her the world was ending. She went from grateful little sister to full-on drama queen in about 5 seconds. She threw a tantrum, accused me of abandoning her, and said I was being selfish after everything I'd done for her. I tried to explain that I wasn't abandoning her, that I just couldn't afford it that month. But she wasn't hearing it. She stormed off, slamming the door, and I didn't hear from her for days. He thought maybe this would be the wake-up call she needed, like, okay. Now she's going to realize she has to step up and take some responsibility. But of course, not. Mallory ghosted me for almost 2 weeks. After that, I figured she was either mad at me or finally getting her act together. I tried to give her some space because honestly, I didn't want to deal with her drama. But then my mom called and everything started to make sense, or not, depending on how you look at it. My mom didn't call to check on me or ask how I was doing. No, she called to yell at me. Why are you being so cruel to Mallory? She said I was completely caught off guard. Like, what cruel? What was she talking about? Apparently, Mallory had gone to Miprance and spun some wild story about how I forced her to move out and then left her to sink. She told them I had promised to take care of everything and then just bailed on her without warning. She even said I'd been mean to her and didn't care about her struggles. My mom was livid. She's your sister, and she's struggling. She said, how can you just abandon her like that? My dad called Mel out of that night, basically repeating the same stuff. They both acted like I was a villain, like I'd done something horrible to Mallory. That's when it hit me. Mallory wasn't just being irresponsible. She was straight up lying to our parents to make herself look like the victim. And the worst part, they believed her. I tried explaining my side off the story. I told them how she'd begged me for help, how I'd been paying her rent for months, and how I couldn't keep doing it because of my own financial situation, but they weren't saving it. She's barely scraping by, my mom said. She's overwhelmed and just needs more time. How could you just leave her like that? It didn't matter what I said. They had already made up their minds to the Mallory was the struggling little sister, and I was the heartless older brother who abandoned her. Meanwhile, I found out through a mutual friend that Mallory was still hanging out with her friends, going out and doing pretty much everything except looking for a job. She wasn't overwhelmed. She just didn't care. When I confronted her about it, she didn't even try to deny it. She just shrugged and said, well, maybe if you hadn't stopped helping me, I wouldn't have had to go to them. She had this smug look on her face, like she was proud of herself for getting our parents on her side. That's when I realized this wasn't going to end anytime soon. Mallory wasn't just irresponsible, she was manipulative, and now she had my parents wrapped around her finger. Honestly, I didn't know what to do about it. I mean, how do you argue with people who've already made up their minds? It didn't matter what I said, what I showed them, or how much effort I'd already put into the Mallory was the innocent victim, and I was the bad guy who left her to fend for herself. It wasn't just frustrating, it was exhausting. I kept replaying the phone calls with my mom and dad in my head, wondering if I'd missed something or said something wrong. But no, it was all Mallory. She was the one who decided to twist the story. She was the one who turned my parents against me. And the worst part, she didn't seem to feel even a little bad about it. I didn't reach out to her. After that, I couldn't. What was the point? She was perfectly Fine pretending she was some struggling victim while I was left to deal with the fallout. Meanwhile, she kept living her carefree life, knowing full well that my parents were defending her every move. The thing is, I wasn't even mad at first. You think I was just hurt, like how could me own sister do that to me? I'd been helping her, going out my way to make sure she was okay, and she repaid me by lying to our parents and making me look like the villain. It was such a slap in the face. Then about a week later, my mom called again. This time, she wasn't just upset. She was furious. Mallory's sesh going to be evicted. She said, "How could you let this happen?" I almost laughed. "I didn't let anything happen, Mom." I said, "She's an adult. If she can pay her rent, that's on her. She told me you promised to help her until she got a job." Mom snapped, "So you just